I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
Some nefarious stuff. But let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times has she had to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all this?
Average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing.
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah.
Daytime TV thrives on drama, but no one expected The View co-host Sunny Hostin to be at the center of a scandal this massive. Known for her fiery critiques of morality and justice, Sunny is now facing a nightmare playing out in the headlines. Her husband, Dr. Emanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon with a once pristine reputation, is accused of orchestrating an elaborate scheme involving insurance fraud, kickbacks, and unnecessary surgeries. This isn't just a routine lawsuit. It's one of the largest RICO cases in New York's history, with 180 defendants implicated in a tangled web of deceit. As the scandal unfolds, Sunny's co-hosts on The View have remained eerily quiet, refusing to address the elephant in the room during their infamous Hot Topics segment. Whispers from behind the scenes suggest tension among the hosts, with some questioning whether Sunny's presence on the show is now a liability. Insiders claim that Joy Behar, known for her sharp wit and quick comebacks, privately expressed concerns about how Sunny's silence.
I want a citizen that has a policy. I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners. He's got $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation? How about removing some of the podcasts that disseminate this misinformation?
They have.
And that's
could tarnish the show's credibility. Meanwhile, Whoopi Goldberg reportedly urged Sunny to issue a statement to get ahead of the story, but Sunny remains tight-lipped, leaving her co-hosts to fend off the growing wave of public scrutiny. On the other side of the debate, Joe Rogan's verbal takedown of Sunny has sparked a domino effect, with other high-profile figures joining the conversation. Conservative commentator Ben Shapiro took to his platform to echo Rogan's sentiments, labeling Sunny's silence as cowardly and accusing her of moral grandstanding.
It's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange.
Shapiro questioned how someone so vocal about systemic failures could overlook the alleged criminal behavior in her own household. Sunny Hostin has made a career out of lecturing others, Shapiro said. But where's that same energy now? It's hypocrisy at its finest. As the media frenzy intensifies, fans and critics alike are split into factions. Sunny's loyal supporters have taken to social media to defend her, insisting that she's merely supporting her husband through a difficult time. "We don't know the full story," tweeted one fan. "Sunny has always stood for justice. Let's not jump to conclusions." Meanwhile, critics are relentless, flooding her posts with questions about how much she knew and accusing her of being complicit in her husband's alleged actions. Memes mocking The View have gone viral, with hashtags like #ViewHypocrisy and #SunnySilence trending across platforms. Meanwhile, Dr. Manny's lawyer, Daniel Thwaites, is working overtime to flip the narrative. In a fiery press conference, Thwaites blasted the lawsuit as a desperate attempt by a struggling insurance company to shift blame for its financial mismanagement. He painted Dr. Manny as a victim of a corrupt system, claiming the surgeon was being targeted because of his success. "My client has dedicated his life to helping patients, many of whom couldn't afford proper care," Thwaites said. These allegations are baseless and defamatory. However, prosecutors tell a different story, alleging that Dr. Manny knowingly exploited the system by performing unnecessary surgeries, billing for treatments that never happened, and pocketing kickbacks. Investigators have uncovered evidence suggesting a network of doctors, clinic owners, and middlemen orchestrated the scheme, with Dr. Manny allegedly playing a central role. Amid the legal drama, patients of Dr. Manny have started coming forward with their own stories. Some describe life-changing surgeries and praise his dedication.
I saw you on The View.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
yeah.
it is a rabies-infested hen.
Her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit. Okay, now let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this about.
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host Sunny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Thwaites, denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread.
While others allege they felt pressured into procedures they didn't fully understand. One former patient, Lisa Carter, claimed she underwent an unnecessary spinal surgery that left her with lingering complications. "I trusted him," Lisa said in an emotional interview. "Now, I wonder if I was just a dollar sign to him." Beyond the Hostin family's personal drama, the case has reignited a national conversation about the state of the healthcare system. Critics argue that the scandal highlights how greed can corrupt even the most trusted professionals, leaving patients vulnerable.